محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والمطلقات يتربصن بأنفسهن 3 قروء ولا يحل لهن أن يكتمن ما خلق الله في أرحامهن إن كن يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر وبعولتهن أحق بردهن في ذلك إن أرادوا إصلاحا ولهن مثل الذي عليهن بالمعروف وللرجال عليهن درجة والله عزيز حكيم. We in a way rushed this ayah last week because of the time between Isha, the start of the study cycle, and Isha. From now, for the next 6 months, will be inshallah 8:15. We'll start 8:15, and I have one 8:15 till March, inshallah, and Isha is 8 o'clock, inshallah. So you could come across people actually divorced or want to divorce or divorce strongly, whatever. So we said last week that those who were divorced, والمطلقات يتربصن بأنفسهن. يتربصن, what's the meaning of يتربصن? Is not actually wait. Wait is soft meaning. يتربص. Anybody? يتربص.
Watch them very closely. And
then yes, like watching very closely, very clearly, like you're watching the enemy or you're watching a prey to jump on it.
Yes.
يتربصن بأنفسهن. Why Allah used the word يتربصن here? Not wait. Like in Arabic, it could be like have to wait. انتظر ينتظرنا could be ينتظرنا wait. While here يتربص. This is why the translation sometimes could eat the meaning.
Because maybe the woman want to marry to another one.
Yes.
But you have to stick.
Yeah. She doesn't want to have the shame of being divorced, no matter what it is and things. Still people look at her, oh, she's been divorced. 6 from one, half dozen from the other. There's no smoke without fire. So they will start, talking about her, especially women of her age, her group, her. So they will be very keen to jump into the next possible marriage. But Allah Azza wa Jalla said the tarabbus, that way it has to be 3 quru. And we said last week why we said quru, not month.
Because everyone has different periods, you said.
Because everyone has different period, and the idea from the idda al-talaq, idda means counting, because they do count. For women, whether it's iddat al-talaq or iddat al-wafa, they count with the day. Because there are restrictions restricting their freedom. So we said 3 quru last week because not month. Because the idea of because we said last week quru could be finished in 60 days, which is 2 months. Why is that? Because some women have short period and short dry period, short bleeding period. So it could be 5 days period and 15 dry, then 5, then 15, then 5, then 15 equals 60. 2 months, which is for some women is very important. You want to get on, finish from it. And the idea of the reason why they are asked to stay, the main reason to make sure that she is not pregnant from the previous marriage. And it's not halal in Islam to bring into a marriage a child who is not the son of that marriage. And in the Quran, Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned the ayah إذا جاءك إذا جاءك المؤمنات يبايعنك. So Allah, when they come to pledge to you to enter Islam, ولا يأتينا ببهتان يفترينه, I'll use the word يفترينه بين أيديهن وأرجلهن. يا أيها النبي إذا جاءك المؤمنات يبايعنك على أن لا يشركن بالله شيئا ولا يسرقن ولا يزنين ولا يقتلن أولادهن ولا يأتين ببهتان. So they come and they pledge to you that they will not associate a partner with Allah, they will not steal, they will not commit adultery, and they will not kill their children, and they should not come with a buhtan. Although he mentioned zina, but here he mentioned buhtan, which could that she had a child conceived outside the marriage with, or could be she lied that she is pregnant and she brought a child to this new marriage which was not the son or the daughter of this husband now, the current husband. So at the time of Umar ibn Khattab, one lady got married and she had a child after 6 months. So the husband complained, there's no way that's possible. They knew at that time 7 months could be, but 6 months not possible. So to them at that time. So they complained, and Umar ibn Khattab was about to stone her because she committed adultery and carried a child without being married. So Ali ibn Abi Talib stopped him and he said, what are you doing? He said, this is what happened. He said, no. Allah said in the Quran, وَالْإِمَّهَاتُ يُرْضِعْنَ أَوْلَادَهُنَّ حَوْلَيْنِ كَامِلَيْنِ. They breastfeed the children for 24 months. لمن أراد أن يتم الرضاعة. In another ayah, وحمله وفصاله 30 شهرا. The mother carried the child and breastfeed for 30 months. So if breastfeed is 24 months, so what's left is 6 months حمله. So she could give birth to a child while he is 6 months. And it's known medically, they do survive. They obviously need incubator and things. So this is obviously freed her. So that's one of the reasons why she is not expected to. She has to obviously free herself from any accusation and prove that yes, she waited 3 months, 3 periods, and she is not pregnant. And if people use the talaq sunni, they should not divorce the woman until she had a period, finished the period, and started dry, and he divorced her before he sleeps with her. So she starts the udda immediately. Because if he divorces her in the middle of no time, then she could have to wait for 70, 80, 90 days. Because she has to wait till there is period, and then let's have to go this period, second period, third period, the 3 periods. First one not counted because she was divorced in that time. So they have to make them lose less time waiting to marry again. And this is why talaq al-bid'i invented by Muslims. They are not following the Sunnah. So in Surah Al-Talaq, يا أيها النبي إذا طلقتم النساء فطلقوهن لعدتهن وأحصوا العدة. طلقوهن لعدتهن means مستقبلات عدتهن فطلقوهن لعدتهن. So they could start straight away the عدة وأحصوا العدة. You have to really make sure that yes, it has been proper عدة counted. Because of you don't want again to a pregnancy which doesn't belong to this marriage enter the second marriage, and also save time for the lady, her job, her reputation, her expectation, whatever. But also from the psychological point of view, she has to deal with the divorce, the loss. For women, the loss more shocking than men. if you see any woman, even if she's hating the husband, or even if she divorces him, she still feel that, yes, shame, I couldn't contain the marriage, I couldn't succeed, I couldn't failure, it is this and that. So she had a cooling period. For the widows, it's 4 months and 10 days. Why is that? Which is here up to, could be 60 days or even less. Could be, 40 days of her, because some women vary in their...
Because I think Umar says, 4 months you have to come back. The room is one.
No, that's Ila. يؤلون من نسائهم, when he make an oath not to sleep with his wife for 4 months. And that, more than 4 months women cannot tolerate. And Omar discovered that when he had the lady. So he made it a law. No one should be in the army more than 4 months. Should come back to his wife. But because, subhanAllah, because bereavement is actually more distressing to the lady than divorce. Divorce could be that she just wanted him to go to hell. She hated the marriage. She hated this, hated that. So it would be like, it's okay. I'm glad But the divorce, the widow, 4 months, 10 days for her to sort out her bereavement. And here in psychiatry, we consider more than 4 months, 10 days like a pathological bereavement. They're going to really prolonged bereavement, which is something wrong there. Might be depression, might be an anxiety, might be other issues, to deal with. And so you go back to Al-Baqarah. إن كنا يؤمننا بالله واليوم الآخر. So it's really important that وبعولتهن أحق بردهن. If she is divorced, her husband is the first to have the right to take her back. ذلك إن أرادوا إصلاحا, if they want really to run their life in a good manner and good way and good respect and things. And ولهن مثل الذي عليهن بالمعروف, and women have the same right and duty as the husbands, as known. So as known to, obviously, to that country, to that city, in that time, in that age, in that condition. You can't come and Britain say, women in Yemen sit in the house, 10 of them in the house, and you have to sit with my mother and my brothers and sisters. What's in Britain? Have their own house, own flat. So what's ma'roof in your area, in your... So this is a problem in many of the Muslim community in the West. The men want to lead their house according to his original, and the woman will not agree. And I saw a woman in Heartland Hospital. She was hanging under the trolley. She wouldn't sit on the trolley, so wouldn't talk to anybody. So I went. It took me time to get her from under the trolley to sit on the trolley, and then she spoke. And she said he married her in Pakistan. He brought her here. He would show her Buckingham Palace. He would take her to the Windsor Castle. He would take her to the theme park. He would take her here, there, and then he's stuck in a house in Small Heath with 7 of his brothers and sisters, his mom, his dad, and that's it. And he is not there. When I saw him, he said, "Oh, he's unemployed and he's living on income support. How would he be able to take her? Doesn't have the money." So down the line through the interview, why you are not in the house if you are unemployed? He said, I didn't say you are unemployed. Why you are not in the house? She said, you're always outside the house. He said, I'm working. I have, I repair gas and things, So obviously, there's a lot of things wrong in that marriage, and obviously the rijal alayhinna daraja, the daraja we read in last week, which is being ready to help, ready to qiyamah was called. He's standing up, ready to help, and Allahu Azizun Hakim. Allah is exalted in might and the most wise. And then he said at-talaqu marratan, which is a lot of Muslims, unfortunately, scholars, they misinterpret this, including we had a discussion with Ahmad Saad when he was teaching you here. Talaqu marratan means you came to the mosque marratan, means what? You came this morning and then you came in the evening, yeah? You came to Solihull Marratan. You came last year and this year. How would you accept if somebody said divorce 3 times to her, that this is 3 divorces, while Allah said it's twice? And somebody asked the Prophet ﷺ, where is the 3rd one? He said, this is the 3rd one. مرتان فإمساك بمعروف on the 3rd time, أو تسريح بإحسان. So you keep her of the 2 divorce, or you divorce her the 3rd time. That's it. Nothing between you. That's talaq ba'in, they say. You can't come back to her. It will stop. If she marries somebody else and he died or he ran away or some, but not for the sake of going back to the previous husband and divorce, then she can go and marry the previous husband. But it is twice, separate twice. And ولا يحل لكم أن تأخذوا مما آتيتموهن شيئا. The husband have no right to take any money they gave them, whether it's dowry, marriage gift, mahar, gift, whatever. You can't take it back. It's haram. Because in the Quran, Umar ibn Khattab was trying to fix the mahar. Then what happened?
Lady cannot say, you cannot limit what Allah is, and then he said you true to leave it.
Do you know what the ayah? The ayah, Allah said, وَإِنْ أَرَدْتُمْ اسْتِبْدَالَ زَوْجًا مَكَانَ زَوْجًا وَآتَيْتُمْ إِحْدَاهُنَّ قِنْطَارًا. If you want to divorce a wife and marry another wife, something, and you gave the first one treasure. Qintar means a big, like a ton of qintar. If you say in English, probably a ton of money. Qintar, a big container. It's
a heap.
A heap. Yeah. قنطارا فلا تأخذوا منه شيئا. What did it translate here? Treasure. A whole treasure for dower. He didn't give the qintar. I mean, he didn't give qintar.
Qintar was a measure.
Yeah, measure. It's this big container. Yeah, it's nearly a ton of things you can put in it. Yeah, 1,000 liter tux. So ولو آتيتم إحداهن قنطارا فلا تأخذوا منه شيئا. So you're not supposed to take anything from them. Some Muslims, subhanAllah, they abuse this, because if you marry somebody, now.
Yeah, in this translation it's mentioned as a great amount of gold.
Great amount.
If you wish to replace it with a great amount of gold, do not take any of her dowry back, even if you have given her a great amount of gold.
Yeah, it's not qintar. Is not mentioned there. I bring it in another tafsir. Yeah, Surah An-Nisa, ayah 20, and here we want English. Yeah, qintaran, here what he said, a great amount in gift. Yeah, again they didn't actually translate qintar. Great amount, which is qintar is a measure. Yeah, measure, which is big container, nearly 1,000 liter of water or 1,000 liter of oil or something. قنطار فلا تأخذوا منه شيئا تأخذونه بهتانا وإثما مبينا.
Because you take her wife in the name of Allah, yeah, that's why.
فإن خفتم ألا يقيما, if you are afraid that they will not establish or follow the rules of Allah Azza wa Jal, that if you indeed fear or judge that they would not or would be unable to keep the limits ordained by Allah, there is no blame on either of them if she gives something for her freedom. Now here he talks about if she wants the divorce and he divorces her, she could leave some of the mahar, some of the money. But if she asks for the divorce, like one of the Sahabiya, the sister of Abdullah ibn Abi Salul, she married one of the Sahaba, and then she came to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and she said to him, there's nothing wrong with his belief or his behavior, but I don't like kufr in Islam. And kufr in Islam, kufr al-ashir. The Prophet ﷺ said to the women when he was collecting their donation, he said, donate, because I've seen women are more than men in hellfire. And they said, why? What they were doing? He said, yakfurna al-ashir. They deny the husband his right, or they deny what he gave. So because he doesn't want to deny him his rights. I said, why? She said, because she looked from the tent and she saw him coming with his friends, and she said he was the darkest among them, he was the shortest among them, and he was the most ugly among them, and her doesn't like him anymore, can't have him as husband anymore. So he said, will you give him his farm back? She said, yes. Give him more than that. He said, no, the mahar is the maximum you can give him. So here she wanted her freedom by giving part of her mahar or all her mahar sometime. But if he divorces her and he is at fault, then he doesn't take anything at all. And that's the border and the boundary of Allah Azza wa Jal, and never cross it. And whoever cross the boundaries of Allah Azza wa Jal, they are the wrongdoer, they are the real aggressor. So فإن طلقها, which is here talking about فإمساك بمعروف أو تسريح بإحسان. So he divorces her twice now, but if he divorces her the third time, then they cannot come back to each other. She's not halal for him. فلا تحل له من بعد, until she marry a different husband. If he divorces her, that husband, then there's no harm for them to come back to a fresh marriage again, if they are sure that they will establish the rules of Allah and follow the rules of Allah. And now,
so I didn't quite understand that she wanted to divorce him because he was a kafir.
Because she looked at him, he was the ugliest, the shortest, and the darkest.
In appearance.
Between his group, he was coming with his friends.
Yeah.
So she looked at him, oh my God, I married the wrong person, She just hated him. It's Zainab, the wife of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, she hated Zayd ibn Haritha. She didn't want him.
He wasn't good looking.
Zayd was adopted slave, and she was the cousin of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, and she was like from that social status in Mecca and whatever and things, and subhanallah, they couldn't get on together, and they divorced. فَلَمَّا قَضَى زَيْدٌ مِنْهَا وَطَرًا زَوَّجْنَاكَ. So Allah gave him the highest medal in Islam, which is his name in the Quran. His name in the Quran. The only Sahabi named in the Quran is Zayd. Yeah. Every time you say فَلَمَّا قَضَى زَيْدٌ, you get 30 rewards. Abu Bakr wasn't mentioned, Umar wasn't mentioned, but he sacrificed. He divorced her, and obviously he wasn't keen to divorce the cousin of the Prophet ﷺ, and the one who married him, and he had his son Usama from her. Usama bin Zayd from Zainab, isn't it? Yeah. Check and come back to us. فإن طلقها, Then Allah Azza wa Jalla said, وإن طلقتم النساء فبلغن أجلهن فأمسكوهن بمعروف أو سرحوهن بمعروف. Now, probably this we have to leave to next week to go to the topic, inshallah. Do you have any questions on what we have already mentioned? Yeah.
So maybe not related to Quran, maybe is in our Middle East level, and I think we have, they said, يعطيها العصمة بإيديها. It's in Syria as well, give up the asma, meaning the right to divorce, but without giving anything away. Are you familiar with this?
Yeah, this is one of the things which is practiced among Arab, that in the contract you put that she can divorce him at any time without giving him back any of the dowry, any of the mahr. According to Sharia, and our teachers say that any insert in the marriage contract will only be accepted if the Sharia allows it. If the Sharia doesn't allow it, then now if he agrees that he doesn't take anything back from her, he doesn't have to sign for it. When she asks for a divorce, he divorces her and doesn't take anything back. The point is when she wanted to divorce him and he refuses, that's called khula, and that's when the condition will be that you have to give him back. And when they say العصمة بإيدها, in a way he's writing down that he agreed to give her the mahar with no return of any of it. That could be a condition, but he cannot say you can divorce me. She doesn't divorce. The wife doesn't divorce. The court divorce her. Why is that? Why the wife doesn't divorce and the husband divorce?
Because the court is speaking on behalf of the lady.
But why the court doesn't speak on behalf of the husband?
That's because the woman could be under pressure. You know, she's not as strong.
Both could be under pressure.
Do women are more emotional, so they can just say anything?
Louder.
Women are more emotional, so if they're upset, they can just write out something. I don't know.
What did she say?
He said that women
Women
More emotional.
More emotional.
Yeah, it could be that she could be more emotional, divorced him by mistake, and or took him the khala by mistake. But more than that,
object to the husband may object to the divorce, but he doesn't want to get divorced and try and pressure on her.
I think because husband give mahar, not the
Yeah.
lady give mahar.
yeah, that's the point. Because the husband could have given mahar and house and spent on the house for the last 10 years and put a lot of money and effort and things in this marriage, and then she divorced him and go. But worse than that, they sometimes try to make money.
This is in the
They
West
divorce
Africa,
him,
you know.
take
They
£10,000, divorce him tomorrow.
Yeah.
Keep the £10,000. So the husband will think 100 times before he divorces how much he will lose. He will lose the house, he will lose the mahar, he will lose all the things, the gift he gave. And when the husband, if the wife wants to divorce, how much she lost on the marriage? Probably nothing. Her virginity, if she was virgin, but probably nothing. Probably she was married before him. So to stop women abusing the divorce, the court has to decide. If she is at fault, she takes nothing. So the court decides. The husband will be thinking a lot of times before he divorces, because if he divorces, he's going to lose all what he gave. In London, there's an agency. Have you heard of it?
Yes.
What agency? No.
No, that's
There's an agency. They groom the beautiful women to marry millionaires or billionaires sometimes. and they make them marry, and after 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years, they cause the divorce. You get 20 million divorce settlement, 40 million, 60 million. They just agency. I saw a full program on them how they manage to use women to abuse these super rich, and obviously they get their shares from the settlement money and get away with it. Yeah.
القنطار هي 100 وحدة أساسية. It's 100 of recognized unit, like 100 kilogram, 100 pounds.
The most interesting story happened is, this Ashraf Hakimi, Muslim brother, football player. He played very millionaire. He played with Mbappe in Paris Saint-Germain. Yes. And he married to wife, and wife divorced him and take the court. Yeah. He doesn't have anything. Actually, she paid him because every wealth belonged to his mom.
Yeah. And there's one marriage also that they fiddled with all the computer things, and she didn't get anything because she used her brothers try to get into the computer, break into all these passwords and things, and see where his money. Because when they went to court, there's no money. He couldn't chase any money, and the money scattered across the globe. So her brothers tried to break into the computer, and also they lost the case as well. So it's protection, subhanallah. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد نبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين. We have a case in Solihull. A guy married an English lady who became Muslim, and wasn't a successful marriage at all from the start, and then she divorced him after less than a year, I think. They bought a house together, and she ended having 25,000. They sold the house, and she walked into the marriage with nothing, and then left the marriage with 25,000. That's around 15 years ago. She came to our house, tried to use us against him. She came with niqab. I'm the one who encouraged. I'm not the one who get convinced by niqab anyway. So she came to my house in the wrong shape. And she tried to talk, and basically, they couldn't. He just left her and left the country, and he's in the Gulf now. He's quite happy, has children, remarried, and things. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam.